Ethan has always been a fighter. He would be in the hospital bed as a baby, smiling and giggling and laughing with a spine bleed. I'm Trisha Keller, and my son Ethan has severe hemophilia. So learning to start to do Ethan's infusions was very nerve-wracking and overwhelming.
This is the medicine. I probably shouldn't put it in right now.
You can do that part now. I began infusing in his arm, and it was really kind of a struggle at first because you're not sure exactly where things are going, and then you start to think about where they could be poking, and and that's just where my mind goes. I felt really apprehensive about showing Ethan how to do it because I was afraid something would go wrong.
Dining hall!
I guess my view of Factor started as just take this because I have hemophilia type of thing. But the amount of times I took it after a bleed, that turned into the bleed getting better. I kind of had this like placebo effect on me. I felt like I was being filled with like a secret serum or something. I was Superman after I took my medicine. My name is Aaron Smith, also known as Big Tuna at camp. I'm a personal trainer. I'm studying mechanical engineering at BYU, and I have severe hemophilia A. When I was 7, I infused for the first time. Over the course of the next year, my parents tried to get me to transition to doing it all by myself, to a point where I basically just said, hey, Mom, Dad, I'm gonna do treatment. Camp IV surpassed Christmas in our family. Camp IV was, singing songs and laughing on the way there and crying and screaming on the way back because they didn't want to go home.
First year Ethan went to camp, I just had asked them to let him try poking and seeing how he would do. And what I found out was, when I picked him up, that he had got it on the first try and was doing it the rest of the week. And the funny thing was, is Ethan was like, it was no big deal. Like, that's just part of what he does. And, he's cool. Like, yeah, I got my big stick, And I was really proud. Like, it was a pretty emotional moment for me.
The big stick is a rite of passage. Every camp throughout the country kind of has some sort of token that represents a child going from being dependent on their parent for their daily care of their condition to being dependent on themselves. And in Washington, we represent this with an amazing wooden stick that is engraved by one of our fellow gentlemen who has hemophilia, and they are just the most elegant and beautiful symbols that these children work to achieve.
The most enjoyable, fulfilling part about camp is being a part of campers getting their big stick. The amount of help and support that I've received as a kid, not only having a fun week, but learning how to manage my hemophilia, is something that I'd like to pass on to the next generation of kiddos.
For Ethan, being able to infuse himself is going to be freedom for him. He's not going to have to be with me all the time, every day that he needs Factor. He's going to be able to have a lot of great adventures.